Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. This video, we give you a piece of breaking news. So humiliating. Meghan forced to pay more than £67,000 after losing the first round against Mail on Sunday. Meghan is suing Associated Newspapers Limited, publisher of the newspaper and Mail Online, over an article published in February 2019 which reproduced parts of a handwritten letter she has sent to her father. But in May, the High Court's Mr. Justice Warby struck out parts of Meghan's claim, including allegations of deliberately stirring up issues between her and her father. Meghan Markle has forced to pay £67,000 in legal costs after losing the first round of her battle against the Mail on Sunday's publisher. A written submission from July 22nd has since shown that the Duchess has agreed to pay in full the publisher's costs for the strikeout hearing of £67,888. The hefty bill was revealed as the court heard Meghan believes naming the 5 female friends who briefed People magazine about her and a letter sent to her father Thomas would be an unacceptable price to pay for pursuing a claim against Associated Newspapers. The Duchess of Sussex has applied for an order to keep secret the identities of the women, all young mothers, at a hearing at the Royal Courts of Justice in London. And it's just infuriating to know that she personally will not pay this. Charles must step in now if he wants respect from the public. Stop all this ridiculous funding and stop paying it just because you feel sorry for poor little Harry. Plus, I find it so hypocritical that she has dragged anyone, including her own father, through the mud, but is resisting so hard to name the 5 friends who defended her. Why keep them secret if what they said was true? Why aren't they proud to take the stand and honor what they said? Either because they lied or they don't exist. Indeed, Aubrey Hanson continues to slam that they are freeloaders. She said Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have long claimed they crave financial independence. They've bemoaned the shackles of royal life, the gilded cage preventing them from making their own fortune and using it to finance their world-changing activism. Of course, earning enough cash to support the lifestyle Meghan's become accustomed to since she slipped Prince Harry her phone number comes first. It's quickly become a trend with this couple. They're happy to take the talk, but aren't as eager to walk the walk. Much in the same way that Prince Harry preaches about racism while completely ignoring his own sketchy past. The Hollywood royals want the benefits of being entirely independent of those pesky royal duties, while still enjoying royal funding. Speaking to talk radio, royal commentator Tom Harwood blasted the couple for abandoning Britain but remaining on the take. I find it extraordinary that they're still getting any money from the British taxpayer at all. They have severed ties with the royal family. They've stopped doing public duties, which is what they get money for in the first place. We know that the wannabe Hollywood celebrities have had no real income of their own for at least the last several months. At this point, they're freeloaders. They left the UK for free accommodation on Vancouver Island in Canada. Then they secured a private jet to get them from Canada to Los Angeles, where they've been living large in a mansion belonging to Tyler Perry. After abandoning the Commonwealth and shacking up in Perry's $18 million mansion, they proceeded to lecture us about our history. Harwood outlined the irony and arrogance of that move perfectly. They even abandoned any sort of Commonwealth country. Any country where the crown holds some sort of significance to skip off to California. To cap it all off, we know that Harry's father, Prince Charles, the heir to the throne that established the Commonwealth, is still financing his son and daughter-in-law. Harwood says it's time for Meghan and Harry to take charge of their own affairs. If they want to be private citizens, they can be private citizens. But they should rescind their title, stop taking taxpayer money, and they should go live like the Hollywood celebrities they so desperately and clearly want to live like. If that was me, I'd be thoroughly embarrassed to be living off someone else's tab. Of course, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have never been big on shame. The Hollywood royals are fast running out of options. Living their kind of lavish lifestyle requires a great deal of money. Aside from public speaking, Prince Harry is essentially trained for absolutely nothing marketable that would provide the kind of income the couple desires. As for Meghan Markle, she's not quite sure what she's doing. One minute she's chasing Brad Pitt for a Hollywood movie role. The next, she's challenging Gwyneth Paltrow and Goop. And when she's not doing any of that, she's plotting her path to the White House. The term "throw everything at the wall and see what sticks" springs to mind. The question is, what happens when nothing sticks? But, according to Aubrey Hanson's explains from Global, clearly, Meghan had to think of something that would make her look loyal and caring to her friends. Also, to try not to lose face. It's a smokescreen because she knows she must do everything she can to keep them from being ordered to go to the court to testify whether she knew they were going to People magazine or indeed if she asked them to leak info to People. She added, "The friends don't want to be associated with the lawsuit mess and desperately don't want to testify under oath. Of course, Meghan is worried because if they tell the truth, she is toast. By saying revealing their names is too high a price, she is setting up a narrative where she can save face if she withdraws the suit. She can say that she gave up her right to justice to protect her friends." Meanwhile, a lawyer of California also discusses this lawsuit. He said her father does indeed have every right to defend himself. However, he is not the owner of what was written in the letter. That belongs to the originator under copyright law. In this case, Mr. Markle's breach of copyright or privacy is likely to be waived because he is entitled to argue that his daughter wrote the letter for public consumption and for the purpose of maligning him. The latter aspect is something Meghan Markle should perhaps be a little worried about, more so than naming of her friends. Meghan Markle is not an intelligent woman. She is merely a power-crazed and vengeful one. The People article lies at the heart of her privacy and copyright case against the Mail on Sunday, because it was the first time the existence of the letter the Duchess had written to her father Thomas was revealed. In response, Anthony White, QC for Associated Newspapers, the publisher of the Mail on Sunday and Mail Online, told the court that the principle of open justice in Britain means the 5 friends should be named. Mr. White also said Meghan was apparently pleased with her friend's intervention in speaking to People magazine, apart from the reference to the letter she wrote to her estranged father. The Mail on Sunday claims that revelations in People and the misleading impression it gave of the letter gave Thomas Markle the right to publish more of the handwritten note in the newspaper to defend himself after their relationship became hopelessly estranged in the wake of Meghan's marriage to Harry in May 2018. All 5 of the women faced the prospect of being hauled to the High Court in London next year to testify in the explosive privacy trial. They could be asked to confirm on oath whether the Duchess had no prior knowledge that they were going to speak to People. Meanwhile, some fans also discuss. A fan wrote, "None of her public friends could be classified as young mothers. Having children in your 30s actually makes you an older mother. I say this as someone who would fall into that category. All of her friends who once spoke publicly about her are all radio silent. I don't think anyone was willing to lie under oath for her. Are these people even in her life now? Jessica was firmly thrown under the bus." A fan replied to him, "When it's a bottomless pit, and even with millions in the bank, they, at middle age, sadly rely on the bank of his dead mom, semi-retired father, and granny. It doesn't really matter whether it's 67,000 or 670,000, does it? She sent a letter to her father, who gives it to a Mail, and she tried to sue the paper for publishing it. I can't see how she can think she can win this. She's ridiculous." And the last one wrote, "Who does she think she's kidding? She doesn't want her 5 friends to appear in court because she's worried about what they might reveal under pressure, and certainly not because she doesn't want their privacy to be invaded. Since when has she ever considered other people's feelings? That's big of her to agree to pay this. Wow. I trust the entire lawsuit will be lost in similarly expensive fashion. I imagine she's spending her way through Harry's inherited money very rapidly." And you? What do you think about this news? Please let me know in the comment section below so we can discuss together. If you feel my video was useful, remember to like and share it for anyone you think might also be interested. Don't forget to subscribe to the Sussex Daily News channel to get more news from the royal family. Now, have a nice day and see you in the next videos.
The law is what keeps people in the frame, as well as the community standards. It helps society become more civilized and more developed. And here I would like to say that what Meghan commits due to her ignorance must pay. Meghan lacked of savings budget when she sometimes had to pay a fine. Along with this, Meghan has also found a solution herself, so she doesn't have to be later than expected